Jess, what did you guess?
I guess boy. It looks like the whole seawall gang is all on
Wow.
the boy.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go, guys.
Where's James? That was so cool, guys. That was one of the most craziest things I've ever seen.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. So, okay, I took 12 days or 10 days off, and so I feel like I am very out of the loop. I have not been paying attention to anything really on social media until recently. And there's been a lot that's been posted and published about the Duggars, so I'm a little bit behind, and I do apologize. Sister Wives is going to be done this week, and so the show recaps take me a ton to film and edit and all of that. So if you're normally here for the Duggar content, we'll be picking that back up soon.
Oh, I was a polygamist. It's all ego, baby.
So this video is going to be kind of a recap of some of the things that have been going online with the Duggars. And I want to just preface this by saying we'll be talking about briefly a gender reveal, something that happened at Jessa's property, Josh Duggar's appeal, just a lot of like interweaving things. This is not a deep dive into anything because y'all, I have not done a Duggar video in like a couple weeks since a video about Ginger's book like 2 weeks ago, so I'm sorry. Okay, so before we dive into today's topic about all things Duggar, can you do me a big favor and give me this video a thumbs up? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there. It's free, and the new goal is to hopefully have 500,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. I am also loving your comments, so make sure to leave some comments if you have something to say, and click the bell if you want to be notified so you never miss a video. So Katie and Jed Duggar are having another baby, which is like, okay, wonderful. There's always a new baby in the world of the Duggars, and we know that because of their belief system. So we know also that James Duggar is trying to, I don't know, like establish himself as the fundamentalist Jake Paul, I guess, or Logan Paul, or the new Mr. Beast, I don't know, or the stunt guys, that one channel, I don't know. But he has decided that he's going to have this like channel where he does like tricks and pranks and that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, I don't know if these are allowed anymore on YouTube. I'm not sure. But either way, he's like Duggar's Gone Wild, which is so bizarre to me because they're like literally fundamentalists. And in his gender reveal that he published, Mr. James, that is, for Katie and Jed, he actually had Bad to the Bone playing, which if you know anything about the IBLP, they don't listen to rock music, which is, I don't think James even cares. He's just like, whatever, Dad. So James and Jason are kind of just like thumbing their nose at everything. But this gender reveal is out of control. I mean, it's they take a car and they drive it on a dirt ramp, and they dive it into a pond, which is weird. I don't know who was even driving, and it was painted pink, and they're having a pink baby, a baby girl that they're going to name Nora. But it was like the whole scene was just like out of something that I can't even describe. Gender reveals for the Duggars are always such a big deal. And if you're really into gender reveals, I totally get it. In the world of Instagram and online and everyone having to one-up themselves, I can see how the Duggars feel like they have to constantly outdo each other. This one was definitely one that I thought was really odd, but some people really enjoyed it. It was on Jed's channel, lots of comments, although some people thought it was like too much and were accusing them of being breaking laws. I don't know what laws they're actually breaking. It's Arkansas and it's private property, and I don't know what they would have been breaking, to be honest. I don't know what the laws are for fireworks or driving a car into a pond. Anyways, so it's a mixed bag there. So James Duggar is going to be like the next Logan Paul. Is that even a thing? Logan and the Paul brothers are like, they're like grown up and they're like pretending to be like professional like fighters now. So maybe there's like a market for fundamentalist pranksters. I don't know. Who knew? I also noticed that in Jed's gender reveal, suddenly Jessa is in the video. So we haven't seen Jessa at any events in a really long time. So a lot of videos have been popping up about how Jessa is, you know, in this rift with the family. And there are some distance issues between Jessa and the family, specifically around Anna, and also their faith, because Ben is a Calvinist and their belief system is different than the Duggars. But Jessa somehow showing up and then Jed having to like say, "Oh, hi, Jessa," you know, as a way to like, he didn't do that to his brother, Joe, who is rarely in the videos ever. I mean, why did he have to point out Jessa? It's almost like Jim Bob was like, "Jessa, you need to come over and show up in this video so people stop thinking we're fighting," you know, whatever. So anyways, Jessa shows up, but then this gets me on track to the next topic. I saw this on The Sun, but apparently the Sojo Files, the podcast, broke this story. Jessa's property that she owns in Fayetteville, the house that she bought from her dad, from her mom, Grandma Mary, that she still owns. It still hasn't sold. It's been on the market literally forever. And she's trying to sell it for like $250,000. And they've been trying to sell it as a commercial property. A long time ago, she said she had a pending offer. There hasn't been any movement whatsoever. But incidentally, there was apparently a fire that broke out on her property. And so this property is literally sitting on kind of like it's near the freeway. And there was plans to turn it into a ambulance station, so where cars would like come in and out of, so that they could like a dispatch center. And I don't know if that is still happening. That's what Jessa had mentioned. But since they moved into their place at the church, they rehabbed the house at the church that they're living in that they don't own. And so their property is vacant, right? So apparently the property is vacant. So a homeless man moved into their shed and was trying to keep warm a couple weeks ago when it was super cold out. And he started a fire in their shed, and the shed started on fire at like 7 a.m. So the Sun says there was a massive fire at their property after a homeless person moved into the shed. So Sojo Files actually saw the fire. She lives in Fayetteville or in Northwest Arkansas, in that area. And she posted a photo of the black smoke that was coming off of the property. You don't see the actual house on fire. You just see like smoke coming out from a building behind it. And so obviously then the Sun obtained it, and firefighters responded to this on December 23rd at 7:07 a.m. at their address. And it was at the shed 100 feet from their house. And it says, a man was walking down the street and had emerged from the shed. The man stated that he had a warming fire inside the shed and it had gotten away from him. He continued that the smoke and flames were evident upon arrival, and the fire was ultimately extinguished with no damage to the home. So apparently this home is so abandoned and so like empty right now that there are homeless people squatting in their shed. That's wild to me. And then they started a fire. This seems so wild. I wonder if they came off the freeway and that's how they got into the house. They have not lived at this house since summer. So I wonder if people are actually like paying attention to the property to make sure that it's not being busted into by people. That seems like a big deal, especially if you're trying to sell the property. Having an incident like this where you have a squatter in there, it doesn't make it an attractive offer to buyers, to be honest. So they get this figured out, and I'm just glad that nobody was there to get hurt. Another aspect for me is like, how did the man just happen to be walking out and like, oh, I just happened to start a fire? Like, why are you starting a fire in someone's random shed? There's parts of the story that just don't make sense to me, but what do I know? So Jessa's shed goes up in flames. Thankfully, no one is hurt. Next, Josh Duggar filed his appeal brief, okay? The response to the response to the response. And listen, I'm not even going to spend the time, energy, or resources to go through the documents with you. I downloaded the whole appeal brief filing. Basically, Josh is still blaming Caleb Williams. But in the appeal, he kind of walks back it and says that, listen, like, I'm not saying Caleb Williams did this. I just think I need to be able to present reasonable doubt, and Caleb is reasonable doubt, and that's enough for me. So in the appeal, that was sort of the argument. It's like, well, it could be Caleb, but it could not be Caleb. So what is it, Josh? Is it Caleb or is it not? And then Josh is like, well, it's maybe reasonable doubt. This is exactly what I was told Jim Bob was telling Caleb's mom. So back this summer, Jim Bob was seen at the Alert Academy's graduation when Jackson was graduating. And there was apparently a conversation that took place between him and Caleb's mom and Jim. And he apparently confronted her and was just like, hey, I'm so sorry, we're blaming Caleb. But we have to present reasonable doubt. It's not that we actually think he did it. So the fact that showed up in this appeal brief response tells me that they're just using Caleb as a scapegoat, effectively. Josh also wants his statements completely withdrawn. Same arguments as before. He says that he believed he was in custody and he was so scared of the scary guys that were going through his property and they illegally took his phone and they didn't let him talk to an attorney. And again, with the metadata. So nothing new. And again, I don't expect his appeal to go anywhere. But Josh Duggar continues to believe that he is the most constitutionally violated human being in the planet, not the men, not the children that were in the videos that he was in. Josh Duggar is the victim. Which leads me to the next discussion. So apparently there was a Christmas video that was published by James on his channel. And in the video, James showed the Christmas celebration. And again, there was a lot of people missing from the Duggar family Christmas. Now, on the chair of the benches, because the Duggars decided that their house is a church, probably for tax purposes, I'm guessing. Anyways, they have a church pew in their house. And one of my subscribers sent it to me. Apparently someone eagle-eyed on Reddit saw it. I didn't know where it came from. I just got a screenshot from someone. But Josiah and Lauren named their daughter Daisy. So they had a baby girl this spring, which is really weird because this spring I got this message from someone that lived in Northwest Arkansas, and they're like, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm local to the area. Josiah and Lauren had a baby girl and they named her Daisy. And I was like, that's really weird because Josh Duggar's case revolves around Daisy's destruction. The video that was made by Peter Scully, that's really horrific. And when you Google Duggar and you see Daisy, it doesn't have to do with a baby. It has to do with what was on Josh's computer, and it was what Josh and his attorneys were trying to fight to get out of everything. They didn't want law enforcement to call it the worst content out there, the worst of the worst. And now Josiah and Lauren, after sentencing, after the trial, have named their daughter Daisy, which seems really like an odd choice. Now, it could be that they're literally just liked the name, but there's so many names that start with D that aren't linked in this way at all to something so horrible, linking that to the Duggars. And it's very reminiscent to me of Josh and Anna naming their daughter Madison, even after Josh got caught on Ashley Madison. Sometimes I wonder if the Duggars pick names to change Google algorithms. Now that would be really weird, but if you would Google Duggar Daisy, it comes up with the baby, not what was on Josh's computer. I don't know. That's the only rational thing I can think of other than they like the name. But Josiah and Lauren welcomed a baby girl named Daisy, which has unfortunate links the name to Josh Duggar's case. So it's a weird choice of a name in my opinion. But we did confirm via this that there's a baby girl named Daisy. And then in the recent gender reveal, Kendra was holding a baby. So she obviously had her fourth child. So I'm like, okay, there's a lot of babies. Oh, and then Hannah and Jeremiah, they had a baby girl a couple days ago and they named her Brinley. She actually arrived on, I think, Christmas. Yeah. So lots of new babies in the Duggar household. Daisy Duggar. is the new Duggar for Mr. Josiah and Lauren. Anyone else think that's a little bit weird? Now, Josiah, the reason why I think it's weird, I'm gonna go just jump back at this, because Josiah literally works with Josh, and he was like running the car lots, and he also has been selling off Josh's inventory and still selling cars throughout this entire time, and worked at the car lot with Josh, and was frequently, like, if you go onto their seller market, he sells cars with Jed, and he works with David Keller, who's Anna's brother. And so the choice of Daisy is so odd, because Josiah knows Josh, worked with Josh. There's no excuse to me that he doesn't know what Daisy has to do with the case. I mean, again, they could have liked the name. It's just another weird choice by the Duggars. Someone said that they thought maybe they're trying to make it like a redemption. You know how, like, when a name has been damaged by something, they try to restore it through something good. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Another person, other people in my comments had mentioned that there was some speculation, or I guess not even speculation, but Josiah and Lauren said that they were going to name their kids the ABCs. That's how they were going to go. And so they have Bella, but they don't have a C. So now people are like, did Lauren have another miscarriage? Because now they named a girl named Daisy. So that could explain why she looked pregnant so many different times, and we all thought she was pregnant multiple different times, and now she has had a baby. If she did have a miscarriage, that's really sad. And I don't know if they've stuck with the ABCD theme, but that was what their plans were. So yes, another baby for Josiah and Lauren, and another baby for Joe and Kendra. So it's, again, kind of odd to me that there's all these babies that haven't had announcements, but what do you do? It's the Duggars. James Duggar is basically going to be the new Jake and Logan Paul of the fundamentalist world. And then Jessa's house was on fire. No, her shed was, which was weird. Jessa shows up in Jed's video, the weird gender reveal. They're going to name their daughter Nora Kate. She actually said that Kate means pure. That's not true. The Catherine is actually what means pure. And I only know this because Catherine is my name. I know, it's weird. I was actually saying to my husband the other day, Catherine I actually kind of like that. Would it be weird if I like suddenly changed my name after 44 years and been like, I want to go by Catherine now? I mean, really, I actually kind of like Catherine now. It's like literally growing on me. What are your thoughts on that? Or am I still Katie? Anyways, back to the Duggars. So Josh's appeals stuff will continue to go on. They haven't set a date for anything at this point. No oral arguments have been scheduled at this point. So I don't know what will be next, but I don't expect him to get out. First Christmas in Seagaville without Anna. Anna and the kids are still living with the Duggars. James is still living in the shed. Jason is maybe still living in the treehouse. I don't know. Katie and Jed are having a girl. Josiah and Lauren had a girl. Joe and Kendra had a baby, not sure what the gender is. And Hannah and Jeremiah's baby girl arrived on Christmas. So that's what I have for the Duggars at this point, and I will keep you abreast of anything new, but that was your daily Duggar pile of tea. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.